Hello, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips in for Diane Macedo today. Thanks for streaming with us. United Airlines now requiring all of its U.S.-based employees to get vaccinated, joining the growing list of businesses to mandate vaccines. Meanwhile, the race is on to contain the spread of the Delta variant, with the U.S. hitting 100,000 new cases in a single day, the second time this week. And medical workers are feeling the strain as the number of children in the hospital is on the rise. We have the latest from Florida, which has now set a new record for hospitalizations. Raging fires ripping through Northern California, forcing thousands of people to evacuate. The river fires sweeping through 2 counties and forming this smokenado, taking aim at the town of Colfax near Sacramento, where it destroyed more than 75 buildings. And the Dixie Fire also turning the skies red after demolishing the town of Greenville. The fire burning for 3 weeks now, engulfing in an area the size of Los Angeles. Well, the latest jobs report is out, and the U.S. added 943,000 jobs in the month of July, above what analysts were expecting. The unemployment rate also dropped to 5.4%. Let's go ahead and take it now to the White House, where we are going to be talking. Okay, we're going to move to the White House in just a moment, but first, the Delta variant is tearing through the country. The White House now saying 7 states are responsible for about half of the new cases and hospitalizations in the past week. Hospital admissions also on the rise. Doctors and nurses very overwhelmed there. Some places under strain due to the staffing issues, as we just mentioned, referring to the situation as crisis mode. Victoria Kendo has the latest for us.
The race is on this morning to contain the spread of COVID-19, with the U.S. hitting 100,000 new cases in a single day for the second time this week. Even as cases soar, massive events are taking place around the country. In Sturgis, South Dakota, 700,000 people are expected for the annual motorcycle rally, leading to fears of a super spreader event. This as hospitalizations grew from 12,000 a month ago to more than 61,000 now. Florida setting a new pandemic record high. Pediatric admissions are climbing. One of those hospitalized, 17-year-old David Espino, a high school football player, now battling COVID and pneumonia for the last 10 days.
It's been pretty scary, actually. It could get to anyone. It gets you if you're 10, if you're 60, it doesn't matter.
In Mississippi, where the state health officer says Delta is sweeping over them like a tsunami, hospital workers feeling overworked once again.
It is almost impossible to put into words the frustration that they feel.
In many places, it's not a lack of beds, but a lack of staff that's stretching hospitals thin, like at Willis-Knighton Medical Center in Louisiana.
We don't feel like we have the time to devote to the patients that we need. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional just talking about it.
In Houston, Harris Health System in crisis mode. This 11-month-old patient sick with COVID, forced to be airlifted to another hospital because none of the pediatric hospitals in town had room.
The level of sick visits that we've seen this summer, June, July, and now August, I've never seen in 20 years of practice here in Houston.
This as officials hint there could be major developments on booster shots. A source telling ABC News the FDA is expected to reveal their plan for immunocompromised Americans by early September.
We are now working on that and will make that be implemented as quickly as possible.
And according to an HHS document obtained by ABC News, multiple states are now calling for federal assistance. They're asking FEMA for help with staffing. Kira?
Victoria Kendo in Miami for us. Thank you so much. And we turn now to the latest on those raging wildfires in Greece. Thousands of people have been evacuated as flames continue to spread, inflamed by a brutal heat wave in the region. Firefighters continuing to battle multiple wildfires now. And this is all happening as the winds are actually expected to pick up in the coming days. ABC's Inez De La Catera is in Greece tracking the latest. Inez?
That's right, Kira, and fires here burning out of control in this region, at least. You can see that helicopter right there flying overhead. That's a residential area right there. Huge plumes of smoke in the sky, that black smoke right there. We've heard people screaming. We heard hops at one point, and you can see that helicopter is going to attempt to drop water on that area, or at least it's been doing so all morning. Firefighters still trying to gain a hold and get the situation under control. Fires here burning across the country, not just here. We're in the north of Athens right now, about a 30-minute 2-hour drive from Athens, but fires raging across the country. A couple days ago, we were on the island of Evia. That's about a 2-hour drive from Athens. Fires there also raging out of control, and the Coast Guard telling people to get to the beach so they can be evacuated on boats. That's how bad the situation is there. More than 50 fires raging across Greece. That's down from the 100 fires that broke out this week, but still many of these are under control. You can see that helicopter still flying overhead. Resources really spread thin here. Officials did reveal that several firefighters and volunteers, as well as some residents, had to be taken to the hospital to be treated for injuries. And local media is reporting that the first casualty happened overnight. Someone who lives in this area who was reportedly taken to the hospital to be treated for serious injuries and did not make it. So this is the situation across Greece. It's being fueled by this intense heat. Greece right now in the middle of its worst heat wave in 3 decades, with temperatures at one point hitting 115 degrees. If you take a look at the ground, that heat is making for these really dry conditions. I mean, this grass completely parched, and that combined with these strong winds, which are expected to pick up today, is what is helping these fires break out and spread so rapidly, as you can see right there. The good news is that help is on the way. The European Union and Israel are sending in help. Just something we've seen on the ground here is how stretched thin these resources are. I mean, firefighters really struggling. We were on Evia a couple days ago, and firefighters there had to abandon a fire because their truck ran out of water. So the European Union now sending in fire trucks, firefighters, helicopters, planes to help fight these blazes. Israel joining in that effort as well, and that help sure to be very welcome here. Kira?
All right, Inez de la Cuetara in Greece, tracking the latest on those wildfires there for us. Thank you so much, Inez. Meanwhile, Spirit Airlines is canceling 50% of its flights today after stranding thousands of passengers by canceling hundreds of flights every day this week. The company's CEO is speaking about why this is happening and how long it will go on for. Trevor Ault has the latest.
After 5 days of mass cancellations wreaking havoc at American airports,
we're trying to go home.
Passengers stranded at airports, unable to rebook their flights.
We're just trying to get home, and it's just gotten canceled. No reason for why it's been canceled.
This morning, Spirit CEO says once again, half of his company's flights will be grounded after canceling more than 400 flights on Thursday.
It's been a terrible week for us, for our guests, all the team members working super hard to try to get us back where we want to be.
Spirit citing, quote, a perfect storm that led the airline to cancel nearly 2,000 flights since Sunday, blaming the weather, system outages, and staffing shortages. Passengers across the country getting restless. This one banging on a gate door at San Juan Airport on Tuesday. The airline first said cancellations would slow Tuesday, then Thursday. And now
there will still be cancellations over the next few days, but we can start to build back to a full operation and then build from the takeaways that we get from this last week.
The budget airline even offering double pay to flight attendants who are able to pick up extra shifts. Other airlines bearing the brunt too. American Airlines and Southwest canceling flights due to weather and staffing issues.
It's been very frustrating. I waited 3 hours in line just to get to the front, and they told us that we couldn't get a flight out tomorrow.
Christie says now on top of the original causes for the disruption, airlines are running into new obstacles like crew members scattered throughout the country, but he insists the company will earn back passenger trust in the coming days.
We are starting to turn the tide here and get our operation back, and that starts with building the airline back, making it as reliable as we want it to be. But it's going to take us some time to build back that confidence and earn their trust again. But we're up for the challenge. We're trying to get better. We're going to learn from this, and we're going to continue to grow.
Spirit CEO says the company's simply not built for this level of disruption, though you heard him say he thinks they can learn from this in the future. Of course, that doesn't help thousands of stranded travelers get where they need to go today. Kira.
So true. Trevor Ault at Newark Airport for us. Thank you. Coming up, U.S. track star Allison Felix made history at the Olympics today. And as the games set to wrap up this weekend, our Kenneth Moten is making the most of his final days in Tokyo with a karate lesson. All that coming up right after the break. And welcome back. You're watching ABC News Live. The Olympics are wrapping up this weekend, and it's truly been a historic games in Tokyo. Earlier today, Allison Felix just won the bronze medal on the track in the 400 meters. It's her 10th Olympic medal, tying Carl Lewis as the most decorated American athlete in track and field. U.S. women also won silver in the 4x100 meter relay. So let's bring in our Kenneth Boughton, who has been in Tokyo for us since day one. Kenneth, you were there at the track. What was it like seeing those moments firsthand?
I just got back here to talk with you, Kira, and I will say I was definitely not running as fast as those women tonight. They were just incredible. And Allison Felix, she accomplished something that we have never seen here before. The most decorated Olympian in track and field, tied there. And I should say the most decorated woman, because she is tied with Carl Lewis. But she is this 35-year-old woman, a mother who fights for maternity rights. She talks about gender equality in sports. And then on the track, she shows up and she shows out. And she did it for her final Olympics. She has been competing since 2004, since Athens. What were you doing in 2004, Kira? I'm trying to think, what was I doing? I actually was graduating from college. And I think you were graduating from high school. So,
yes.
2004, that is a long time ago.
You are killing me right now. I hate to say this, but I think I was in Iraq as you were still eating your oatmeal with Mom.
Okay. Which I was eating ramen, and what's funny is it's like a 360 because I'm eating ramen here in Japan every single night.
See,
I need something
everything
else.
comes full circle, Kenneth. I love it. Why do you always have to point out our age difference? Come on, we look the same. We look so young and spry.
Yes, we are. You're beautiful, Kira. You know it.
I love you, Kenneth. All right, let's segue. All right, since you are so young and spry, karate made its debut in Olympics, and you know what that means. It's time for our favorite segment, K-Mo in Tokyo. All right, you have been on a journey, no doubt. There you go, to explore the ancient martial art and become a karate master. So how is it going, my young friend?
Not well, if we're trying to become a karate master, or karate, as the locals say. As you mentioned, Kira, karate did debut here in Tokyo. Very fitting because Okinawa is where the martial art originated. It's just a beautiful martial art. And I will say that we actually were able to go to a karate match today and see some sparring. It was incredible. It was intense. And those guys really know what they're doing. Those women know what they're doing as well. And so we wanted to explore this ancient martial art here that is a favorite of the Japanese people. Take a look. Oh, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Thank you for having us.
Please take off your shorts here.
Oh, nice slippers.
Are you going to be doing some karate?
Yes, I can't wait.
Then you could take off your slippers and your socks.
Okay, slippers back off.
Meet Miki Rebecca Nakamachi, Japanese karate instructor. She knows her stuff.
Karate, I know, is very important to the Japanese culture.
Yes, yes.
How important?
Many kids in Japan, they start karate from a young age, but recently, since it's been Olympic sport and it's something that is any age could do. What is your image of karate?
My image of karate?
Yes, before
I mean, I know some,
I like that.
a little bit. I like the hands. I feel like I got it. I watched a lot of Karate Kid. I love.
Okay.
I know you guys like Karate Kid here, the movie.
Yes, we like the movie. The image that is portrayed, I think, in the Karate Kid, also very correct.
She's definitely got her work cut out for her. First up, Kihon, or the basic techniques on punching.
When we do Kihon basics, karate starts from hikite, which is the wrist, the fist from the waist, and the energy comes here, and you start punching straight. Yes, and you pull it back.
And then kicking.
Oh, actually, that's not so bad.
Oh,
yeah. actually not bad.
Good.
Because in karate, first we bring our feet up, hikiashi, then we either kick straight, around, in. We kick in different directions.
Wow.
So then we always put it back so that we know where our center is.
Now I was ready. Sort of.
Very good. Punch in the middle. Hip. Some. Hip. Good. Some. Step. Some. That's good.
That was good?
Very good. That's good.
Oh, sorry. So, I know we've only known each other for a few minutes now. You've shown me a couple of things. Will you be my sensei?
To be able to be your sensei, you have to be at my dojo.
It's a yes or no.
Okay, yes.
Oh, great. Because the rejection would have been too much for me.
All right, feeling confident. Time to step it up.
Hey!
How do you feel?
I feel like a novice, and you're really good. And I feel like I'm really messing up karate.
The style of karate, the most popular, Shotokan. But at the Tokyo Olympics, athletes compete in the disciplines of kumite, sparring, and kata, a solo form of karate.
Karate being in the Olympics, what are your thoughts on this sport being on the big stage of the Olympics?
Well, I think since it's our first time the karate being in the Olympics, actually I'm also involved in helping organizing the Olympics right now, and I was at the Budokan escorting the judges and translating for the committees and stuff, but they're very, very positive, and I'm actually very positive too, and I think it's great that people will see what a wonderful, not only a sport, but a martial art, modern and traditional, all mixed in one martial art sport.
My sensei, a black belt, of course.
Okay.
Yes, she showed me some stuff, and guess what, Kira? So this is the debut for karate, but it's not being carried on to the Paris Olympics in 2024. It's going to be replaced with breakdancing. So will you join me for that?
Oh, heck yeah. You're taking me back now to my days in high school, okay, in college. You'd be surprised a few moves that I have, okay? We play a little Sugar Hill Gang.
No, I would not be surprised, Kira.
I'm all over it, Kenneth.
I need to
Trust
pop
me.
it. Lock it.
Yes, indeed. Hey, now stay with me for a minute. We're waiting for the president. I know this is a long way from home for you. You're in Tokyo, there on the Olympics. We are waiting for Joe Biden to come out and talk about the jobs report. But while we're waiting for him, Kenneth, because I know you can vamp on anything, closing ceremonies there, just days away, right? It's been really fun getting highlights from you every day. What stands out for you? This was a unique trip for you as Tokyo comes to an end.
It was my first Olympics, and what an Olympics to be my first. It was unprecedented. Obviously, these athletes dealing with COVID-19, dealing with so much pressure. And I will say that being here in Tokyo, just seeing this country and how resilient not only the Japanese people are, but these athletes who came into these delayed and COVID-plagued Olympics here, how they operated. And so I was inspired to watch Simone Biles, to watch Katie Ledecky, Caleb Dressel, Suni Lee, all these names that we now know from these Tokyo 2020, really 2021 Olympics. And I will say what I was probably the most impressed about, Kira, was the fact that those athletes who tested positive, they were knocked out of these games after training for years to be here. And the way they faced it, they were so resilient, and they went on to cheer on Team USA. I just think that's just incredible.
Look forward to you coming home. Now we have breaking news to tell you about. ABC News has just learned that a former New York State employee has filed a complaint against Governor Andrew Cuomo with the Albany County Sheriff's Department. This move comes in during the wake of, or since that scathing report that found that he sexually harassed nearly a dozen women. The woman was not identified by name, but is referred to in this week's report by the state attorney general's office as executive assistant number 1. It is believed to be the first of the 11 women to file a complaint with the police. We will follow. And coming up, we're going to introduce you to the 7-year-old who is fighting back against bullying with kindness. It's our Feel Good Friday, right after the break. And welcome back. It is time for Feel Good Friday, where we bring you a little good news heading into the weekend. And today, it's all about a 7-year-old boy who you are going to fall in love with. And he's fighting back against bullying and has a number of inspirational videos to show you. Take a look.
Everyone can be themselves. If you're worried that someone's going to pick on you about it, and if they do, you can just walk up to them and say, "Hey, I don't care if you talk to me like this. I'm myself, and it doesn't matter what other people think about me. It matters what I think about myself."
Rowan Montgomery has been making videos since he was 4 years old after being picked on in school. He's now going into 2nd grade, and Rowan and his mom, Michelle, are uploading the videos to a YouTube channel, Rollin' with Rowan. One of those videos now has more than 2.2 thousand views. Joining us now, Rowan and Michelle, for some Feel Good Friday inspirational messages. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And Rowan, I love that bow tie.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, Rowan, I want to start with you. Why did you start making these videos? What happened?
Well, before, when I used to be picked on in school about having my unibrow, I used to feel a little bit upset. So I stopped feeling upset and started to make videos so people can embrace themselves and feel happy if the same thing happens to them.
Oh, Rowan, that is such a great message. And by the way, you are very handsome. So whoever says anything about a unibrow, you just tell them you're the best looking boy in the class. You understand?
Thanks.
Okay. So where did you get the idea to do the video? Did you come home and tell Mom about what you were going through? And did you two have a heart-to-heart conversation?
Well, I think I told my mommy that I was picked on in school about having my unibrow, so I probably said it to her, and we started to have a good talk and getting to make videos to talk to people about it.
Michelle, tell me about that initial conversation. As a mom, I bet it just broke your heart, but you really responded in such a beautiful way and inspired him to start doing videos. Tell me how that idea came about, and also, how proud are you of your little boy?
I'm so beyond proud. Yeah, he was feeling a little self-conscious about the comments about having unibrow, and we just kind of talked about how, you need to embrace yourself and how it's not important what other people think of you, because there'll always be someone finding something wrong. So it's important to just be yourself. And he was really, he really took that to heart, and he really wanted to do videos after we talked about that.
Well, they are absolutely incredible. And now, Rowan, you are going to start the 2nd grade in September. My goodness, you are a big boy. What is your advice now to other kids who might be nervous about going back to school and being picked on? What do you say to them?
Well, I would say if you're nervous, they're going into a new grade, you can embrace yourself, because if you're going into a new grade and you're worried there's going to be bullies, and if there is, you can tell them, I'm myself, and since I'm in this grade, I can be myself. It doesn't matter what other people think about me, it matters what I think about myself.
That is so true. So I'm curious, Rowan, what do you want to be when you grow up? Have you thought about it?
Well, when I grow up, I think I want to be the same as my mom that helps people about illnesses and stuff.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Mom, that is amazing.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
Work
Okay. Yes, who do you work with, Michelle?
So I work in the behavioral health field. I help people with mental illness.
Oh, and that is needed right now. I mean, even looking to the Olympics and what we witnessed with regard to mental health. Wow, this all makes sense. Rowan could not have the more perfect mother, and Mom, you could not have the more perfect son. The two of you are amazing, and we're proud of both of you. Oh, okay, now I'm tearing up. This is definitely Feel Good Friday.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for being with us. And Rowan, just before I let you go, as you look at your mom, what do you think's so amazing about your mom?
Well, one thing I think that's so amazing about my mom is whenever I'm feeling upset, I can talk to her about it.
Oh.
There's the message. Always communicate with our kids. They need us. Michelle, Rowan, I lift you both up. I admire you both so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It was my honor, you guys. Bye. And you can find more feel-good stories at goodmorningamerica.com. And definitely go check out Rowan's videos. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kira Phillips in for Diane Macedo. Remember, ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. And I'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Eastern for The Breakdown.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.